Hi, welcome back to Wallflowers. So today I'm going to make leek and potato soup. As I mentioned in the last video where I did the haul, I managed to pick up a couple of lovely leeks and some potatoes. I've managed to pick up some more leeks since then, and the leek and potato soup I'm going to make today won't contain any cream. I'm doing this purely for health purposes really, and the health benefits from leeks really good, and I'm actually going to add some turmeric as well, so that'll be good for the digestive system. So just let me finish cutting these leeks. Nearly done now. I've got some butter in the pan ready to cook these leeks off and soften them up. The ingredients I'm using today are how I like to cook. So as you know, the leeks are purchased from the store. The potatoes I'm going to use are the ones I canned earlier last week, and some of them siphoned. So rather than not use them or do anything with them, I'm actually going to use them today in the leek and potato soup. And the chives I've taken out the freezer, and they're homegrown out of my garden allotment. So as I've said before, I do my chives as a cut and come again, and I managed to get on average at least 3 big Ziploc bags full of trimmed chives, and I put them in the freezer and use them throughout, and I can get that 3-4 times a year sometimes. So we get a lot of chives out the garden and we use them quite regularly, and that's the last bag I'm pulling out the freezer now as well. So we're ready for spring when they grow again. I've got a nice big large bag and I've only took a little bit out there. So let me just light the cooker.
What have you done with the ends of the leeks?
As always, I keep the ends of the leeks, as you well know, Mr. Wallflowers, and I've discussed several times on the channel, and I shall replant them and get further leeks from them. The other two are actually in my garden box. So let me melt the butter. So I've put 2 tablespoons of butter in the pan. I'm just bringing it to a melt. I've used the lighter green and the white ends of the leek, and the green bits that I was able to salvage, the darker green leaves that I was able to salvage of the good leeks, I've chopped and frozen in the freezer bag. And at some point I'm going to attempt to make my own stock. So all the leeks gone in, baste them in the butter. What I did with the leeks was, because as everybody knows, dirt can get trapped in the leeks, so I chopped them into quarters, prepared them and soaked them overnight. I rinsed them, soaked them overnight and re-rinsed them again today, so they've had a good thorough wash. There's no muck trapped up the stems or in them, and if there was, it's all since been washed out. Sometimes you can get a beautiful looking leek, and then as you cut into it, there can be like sandy clay inside them. It's crazy.
Nothing wrong with a bit of dirt.
Sorry?
Nothing wrong with a bit of dirt.
No, but you don't want access. You don't want a gritty bite in a spoon of soup. Unless it's a bit of crispy bacon or something like that. to add a little drop of water. The water will just extend the butter and soften these leeks up for me so the pan doesn't burn at the bottom. When I cook with olive oil or I cook with butter, I normally always add a drop of water, which just extends it. You can actually see in the liquid the buttery colour of it. So it's actually extending throughout the leeks. Smells lovely. So next I have in the centre a pinch of margarine, to the side a teaspoon of turmeric, 1/8 of a cup of parsley and a teaspoon of thyme. In the jug I have a litre, which equates to 4 cups of stock. I'm going to add the stock. A quick stir so I'm not stuck at the bottom. I'm going to add the herbs and spices. Now, there was 3 jars of the potatoes that I canned, that's siphoned, and the recipe called for 2 pounds of potatoes. So, just out of interest, 3 pints of potatoes is exactly 2 pounds of potatoes. So it was perfectly just enough for this recipe. I'll say in there now, we've got the stock, we've got the leeks, we've got the potatoes and the herbs and spices, and that's all we need, and a dash of butter, as I say, to start it off. So I'm just quickly going to raise the heat, stir it while I'm doing so.
Any black pepper?
Yeah, well actually, Mr. Wallflowers is asking for black pepper. Enough?
Okay.
Pinch of salt. A nice pinch of pink Himalayan salt that I buy on the internet. I buy 10 kilo for approximately £10 and it's lasted forever. I think I've already had it for about 18 months. I keep it in a large tub, keep some for kitchen use and whatever other use. Just as a bit of interest, I watched a Doug and Stacey video this morning and they were drinking salt water. So I've actually made my own version. Well, I've done it before and it was lovely to watch the video and it was a reminder, so I think I'll start it again. So basically I've put 7 teaspoons of pink Himalayan salt in with a pint of water. I shall now leave it on the side until tomorrow morning Tomorrow morning I'll just take a glass of my distilled water and add 1 teaspoon of the mixture and drink that on an empty stomach. And then throughout the day I'll just drink my normal water, tea, coffee, whatever I drink throughout the day. And I'll start doing that, a teaspoon of that as a ritual in the morning, and just flush my system through and dehydrate myself. So it was lovely to see the video as a rehydrate, yeah. Lovely to see the video as a reminder. As I say, Mr. Wallflowers and I used to do it quite a while ago, and I don't know why we stopped really. So it's something we'll take back up. So it's a good video if you go and watch it. I really enjoyed watching it today. So got my little jar ready, and that'll be tomorrow morning to start.
It goes clear as it dissolves.
Yeah. Ours won't necessarily go totally clear because ours is pink salt. So, I'm just bringing that heat up a little. Once it's got to the boil, I'm not going to boil it. I'm literally going to put it on a simmer. I made a note, let me just check how long I'm going to simmer it for. It's a while since I've made this. For 20 minutes. We used to make this quite regularly as well, and we haven't made it for a while. When was it? Last summer, just before birthday time, Mr. Wallflowers and I went out shopping in Southport, and we popped into a cafe cum restaurant. We were undecided of what to have on the menu. We chose the leek and potato, and it was absolutely delicious. I couldn't compliment the chef enough when I come out. The lady that was serving us, I asked her, who'd cooked the soup, who was the chef, and it was her herself. She'd actually made it. The big smile on her face when we complimented her, just makes it worthwhile. When something's good, it's nice to tell someone it's good, regardless of where you are. I think we only paid just over £1 a bowl, didn't we?
Crusty bread.
And some nice crusty bread with it. It was lovely. When you look at recipes for leek and potato soup on a website, they call it a side dish, and to have a bigger meal with it, whether it be meat, salad, etc. I think it's quite sufficient as a meal with either a cob of bread or a couple of slices of bread, and I think that's quite sufficient for me. It's more than a side dish. Healthy and filling.
If it doesn't fill you up the first time, you can go back for seconds.
You can always go back for seconds, that's right. And you do. Yep. Right, so that's just coming up to the boil now. You can just see it bubbling around the edge of the pan. I don't know if you can catch that. I'll just give it a moment, and then I'll lower the heat, and then I'll come back to you in 20 minutes. We'll blitz it and get ready to serve it up. Both Mr. Wallflowers and I are quite hungry at this point. Leave this for 20 minutes, run round, get ready for the live stream, set everything up, have our evening meal, which will be this, and then get ready to welcome everyone for the live stream. Okay, we'll be back in 20 minutes. And as if by magic, 20 minutes is up, and the soup is ready to blitz. So let me turn the heat off. I've got the stick blender ready. Take this grill out so it doesn't get in my way. Place it in. course this is very hot, so common sense says always keep it on the bottom of the pan. Just as a little help, I'm going to get the potato masher. I'm going to mash down some of the potatoes. Looks lovely already. You don't need cream, do you?
No,
That turmeric just gives it that nice hint of colour that the cream would have done. Just do that masher one more time to make sure there's no chunks still of potato, as there is. I'm sure that'll be fine. Bit of texture. So, there we have it. 2 bowls ready. I'd like to say a special thanks to Gaz Gazia for all the gifts he sent us this week. Absolutely amazing generosity, and thank you for everyone else who sent any gifts off the wish list. And this is our new ladle. It's the first time I'm using it, Gaz, so thank you.
Thank you.
Three nice large ladles full. Now this soup will be finished off tomorrow, but I'm quite sure there's no cream in that or anything, so I'm quite sure I'd be able to can that no problem. But yeah, we'll finish that off tomorrow. Just going to put a sprinkling of the chives on top. And voila! Okay, thank you for joining us today. Hope you give it a try. And if we don't see you on the live stream, we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.